Welcome back to the SMS Weekly Digest.
The mouth of South. We are your anchors, Dalton
and Devin. This week's theme was decades,
which was suggested by Miss Norwood. This was our fabtastic winner,
and they submitted to this wonderful email that we all love. Dalton, what was 1950 school lunch like?
Oh, well, I have some 1950 school lunch right here.
Bruh.
A little salty. It's sweet, but not too sweet. I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
It was awful. Awful.
And now, the weekly.
The Gooder.
Hoagies and grinders, navy beans, meatloaf sandwich, sloppy joe, sloppy joe, sloppy joe, come on, sloppy joe, you know.
What decade was the hot dog made? The what? The hot dog. 1820? What decade was the pretzel made?
One eternity later.
1930?
Baby, when I tell you Popeyes will bless your soul, do you hear me? These biscuits and
What was the most popular dog of the 1960s?
1960s? I don't know. Dogs didn't exist until like a dinosaur?
Bruh.
Devin, 1960 wasn't even that long ago.
Oh.
Welcome back to Creature Feature. Where am I? Is that a duck? Teddy! Quack.
For this week, CIA is citizenship. The C in CIA.
Hey guys, check out what I just did to the bathroom. It's totally radical.
Not cool, man. How would you feel if someone did that to your stuff?
Guess you have a point there, bro.
And that's just one of the many ways you can show citizenship. The C in CIA.
What do you think superstar students were like in the 1970s, Dalton?
I don't know for sure since I wasn't alive back then, but I am living in the 2020s right now, and I bet they could learn something from this next superstar student.
I nominated Kiana Steele for Superstar Student for this week.
What makes her a superstar student?
Well, Kiana pays very close attention to detail with all of her assignments. She wants to make sure that she's following directions, she takes good notes, she does her absolute best on her test and quizzes, and she asks really good questions, and she really wants to just make sure she's doing her best. So that's what makes her a superstar student.
What do you think makes you a superstar student?
I ask good questions and I listen to details and pay attention.
What do you think others could do to become superstar students?
Just listen to your teacher and follow instructions closely because that'll help you out and stuff.
Atomic bomb!
Okay. No, Devin, it says art atomic.
Oh. My bad.
Where did you get bomb? What was the most significant band in the 1980s?
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, we definitely didn't need to look that up or anything.
Totally.
No. Mr. Williams is a great principal. He had to be born in the 1980s. It's the best decade between the 1970s and the 1990s.
It's also the only decade.
Teacher high fives, teacher high fives, teacher high fives, give a teacher high five.
Welcome back to Principal's High Five. This week's Principal's High Five goes to Mrs. Norwood. Can you tell them why?
Absolutely. Miss Norwood is a rock star in our building. She has been here for a very, very long time. I think she may have spent her whole career here, and she is wonderful. She is always willing to help out. She has a true heart for kids, and she loves South Middle School, and she's quintessential to our building, so we appreciate her.
Well, I have never had Miss Norwood, but when my brother came through here in 7th grade, he said that Miss Norwood was one of his favorite teachers.
Of course.
And yeah, he really said good things about her, that she was a good teacher and she really helped him. And yeah, I think that about sums it all up.
She is wonderful.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Mrs. Norwood, and thank you for all that you do. You get a high five.
What makes practical arts different from fine arts?
Well, practical arts, they're just practical. Fine arts, they're fine.
Okay, what is your name and what's your class all about?
Okay, my name is Mrs. Payne. I teach facts to 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. 7th grade though, right now they're working on the Egg Baby project for our child development content.
All right, what is the purpose of the Egg Babies? What are they for?
Egg Baby is to show responsibility and the similarity between taking care of this little fragile little egg baby and a real baby.
All right, how do you think they're doing on the Egg Babies so far?
Oh, I think the whole building knows how they're doing so far. They're doing okay for what it is. I think they're realizing you've got to watch it at all times and take really good care of it. You've got to be super responsible. Most of them have cracked, smashed maybe, eggs, but they're having a good time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
How did you like having an egg baby?
It was pretty good.
What did you do to keep your egg baby safe?
I just made sure to keep it like away from crowded areas so that nobody would bump into it and break it.
All right, did you succeed in taking care of your egg baby?
Yes and no. The last day I dropped it on my table and it cracked.
All right, thank you. That'll be all.
In the 1990s in Europe, a Mars bar would have cost you 27 pounds, and that fact about history could not be more random.
Check out more random history facts on Random History Fact.
every decade, there is a sensational athlete that nobody ever forgets about. And this decade, that athlete is Patrick Mahomes. Don't listen to him.
5 interceptions. 4 games.
Like I said, don't listen to him.
Dude, he only had 5 passing touchdowns.
Like I said, don't listen to him.
Hey South, we're your South Middle School football broadcasters, and this week Joplin played Willard. Now to the scores for 7th grade.
A team lost 16-6, and B team is 2-0 with a 24-0 win to Willard.
Yep, now to 8th.
Their A team won 34-0, and their B team lost 6-0.
Next, we'll be interviewing Theismann. Here I am with Theismann, and I'm going to be interviewing him on how he felt about the game. Theismann, what are you most excited for?
I was most excited for the games and like the bus rides there.
Yeah. What do you enjoy most about football?
Just like the adrenaline that you get while you're playing.
Yeah. Thanks, Theismann.
Mrs. Foxwell keeps souvenirs from every single decade.
It's crazy. I mean, like, there's so many decade stuff in the desk. I mean, like, you have stuff from, you know, like the 1940s.
We don't care.
Welcome to What's in Mrs. Foxwell's Mind. Well, when we talk about the decades, I am the decades. I was born in 1959, so I was a little kid in the 60s, and the biggest thing for us to do in the 60s was the twist. Come on, let's twist again, like we did last summer. Let's do the twist. Yep. Oh, all that popping. Yeah, that was my bones. So in the 70s, everything was about flower power. So we all ran around with our hair. It would have been bored straight. And we said things like, "Hey man, how you doing? It's really cool that you're here in my flower pad. Have you been for a ride in my Flower Power VW?" Then, in the 80s, I don't really know what the slang was, because I was getting married in the 80s. Dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun. But then, the 90s came. And we had those turtles, you know, that run around with the swords and stuff, and said stuff like, "Cowabunga!" Then, of course, we can't pass up Star Wars. You may think Star Wars is something new, but no, it is not. I grew up as a teenager listening to Luke, I am your father. And that's how it was. Now, today's society would tell me, if I'm dressed nicely, that I have a drip. I have a good drip. I think that's how it is. It doesn't make any sense to me though, because if I'm dripping, isn't that kind of gross? I mean, it means my nose is dripping, or my eyes are dripping, or something on me is dripping. And I'm thinking, if I am dripping, it's probably gross, not good. But then that's what happens with slang. We never understand until we're past the decade we're in how silly we sounded. See you next week in What's in Mrs. Foxwell's Mind.
When Jimmy was young, he was poor. But after decades of hard work, he's no longer young.
Wait. Oh, no, that's it. I quit. You're done.
fear condiments on my food. I relish them. What do you call 50 pigs and 50 deer? 100,000 bucks. What is the most patriotic sport? Flag football. What does a baby computer call its father? Data. Do you know what Sherlock Holmes' favorite food is? Mystery meat.
Please listen to this week's Counselor's Tip of the Week, because if you don't listen to this week's Counselor's Tip of the Week, next week you will do something wrong because this week you didn't listen to this week's Counselor's Tip of the Week.
Just makes sense.
Okay, you guys, here's something that's running across my desk a bit that I want to talk to you about. And I have to tell you, it is so uncool to fight. Really, it is. It's uncool to talk about it, especially uncool to do it. Because if you're fighting, first of all, you look a little ridiculous. Okay? I mean, I'm not going to lie about that. I've seen too many of the videos of some kids fighting, and you just look absolutely ridiculous. Plus, you're putting your life in danger. You're giving yourself a really bad reputation when you want to do stuff like that. And you're just setting yourself up for so much more trouble down the road. Seriously, you guys, please stop the fighting nonsense. There's always somebody around this building that you can talk to that'll give you a wonderful set of vocabulary that you can talk yourself out of being involved in that type of mentality. Please stop fighting. Please. Good night.
Best meme about decades. Go.
This one.
Yeah, that one works. It's alright.
Okay.
Batman.
If you were born in the 1990s and in the 2000s your favorite food was pasta, what would be your favorite sport in the 2010s?
That depends on the type of pasta.
Once again, my friend, you've answered correctly.
If you were to travel to one decade ever, what would it be?
Back to the early 2000s so I could see Megan Fox and Transformers movie.
If you were to travel to one decade, what would it be and why?
Probably the 80s. I don't know why, but because like I don't know.
If you were to travel to one decade, what would it be and why?
Probably the 2000s because this music was the best that decade, and also the sports was the best.
Tomorrow, the band will participate in the MSSU Marching Homecoming Parade. Good luck.
Next week will be Spirit Week to celebrate Joplin's homecoming next Friday. Woo! All sports will be going on next week. Come out and support your Joplin Eagles. We'll also kick off Major Saver sales next week. That concludes this week's episode of the Weekly Digest.
Peace out, South.